Residential interest rates keep inching up with a best case scenario of 7.375 on Thursday. What sort of effect is that having on the Portland metro real estate market? Well, let's get into the numbers. The average sale price was up by 1% versus the previous week, but check this out. The average versus last year at this time was up by 2.6% and the median was up by 2.7%. Keep in mind though that these are sales for homes that went under contract like 3 to 6 weeks ago. Rates were lower then, not a lot lower. The average for the month of August was 7.07%, but all the same, it'll take 3 to 4 weeks to see what the effects are of today's interest rates. The supply of homes available for buyers to purchase was up by 1% over the previous week, but the number of homes new to the for sale market was down by 9%. Here's something that's kind of interesting. We now have the same, almost the exact same number of homes on the active market as we did last year at this time, 54 currently compared to 56 last year. That's a difference of only 2 homes. What's interesting about this is that back in July, we had about 8.9% fewer homes for sale than we had the previous year, and that gap has been diminishing ever since. If this trend continues, it could be a good change for buyers, bringing more homes to the market for buyers to choose from. And for sellers, this could be a troubling change, bringing more competition to the market and putting downward pressure on prices and thus homeowners' equity. On the demand side, the number of new purchase agreements entered into by buyers and sellers was down by almost 100 from the previous week's 592 and last year's 612. 500 purchase agreements is still kind of a respectable number given the interest rates that we have and the activity that we've been seeing over the past 6 weeks. On the other side, lockbox opens, our other measure of buyer demand, our measure of buyers out there with their agents looking at properties, was pretty much flat versus the previous week, but down by 10% versus the same time period last year. I am very curious to see what these new interest rates are going to do to buyer activity out there and the number of purchase agreements entered into by buyers and sellers as we go forward the next couple of weeks. Once again, no real change in the number of bank-owned and pre-foreclosure properties on the active market. The numbers were down by 4 and up by 1 respectively, so really not a big change there. And that brings us to the end of the report. Thank you so much for watching to the very end. Please like this video and subscribe if you haven't already, and share the video with someone you think might find this information interesting, and I will catch you next week.